Alright, hello, welcome to another flight video. I'm gonna go way off the beaten path, so I'm going into central Missouri, actually Minmo as we call it, Mid-Missouri, to Jefferson City, Missouri, where I basically spent a good portion of my life growing up, middle school, high school years, and then went to college nearby at University of Missouri in Columbia. A little bit up here, so this is Columbia, this is Jefferson City. It's about 30-ish miles between the two. Obviously, it depends where you live, so forth. But say roughly a half hour between the two. The main airport in the region is actually Columbia Regional Airport. It is a commercial airport. United flies there from Chicago and Denver. American flies there from Chicago and Dallas. The first commercial airline that they originally had was Delta from Atlanta. Didn't do so well because there isn't a wide demand in Atlanta, but there's actually a decent amount of demand in Chicago. Main reason is University of Missouri gets a lot of students between Chicago. A lot of students from Chicago go to University of Missouri. I don't know if Denver, and, I think there's a decent amount also come from Texas as well. There's a strong alumni presence there. I think Denver's probably more the odd one now, because it is a United hub, and it's like in case we need to get out west, that's the West Coast option. Because from Chicago, United, there's a decent amount of flights going out west, with mostly like the major cities. So I think just it's like a regional impact makes more sense. If you go to Denver and then you go to Boise, that makes more sense. Or Chicago, which may not fly to Boise, but might fly to San Francisco. Anyway, just a little information about the airports. Jefferson City Airport is not. Well, it's it's I wouldn't say it's private, but it's not a commercial airport. There's no major airlines that go there. So it's just one little runway. It's not that big. We're gonna use this little Diamond aircraft. So, what I'm curious. So I haven't done a video of this area, but when this game came out and I flew over it, there was issues with the river. The river was about quite a few meters higher than let's say the city itself. So it's like where you see the city, and then like the river's like overshadowing it. Now it didn't flood over, obviously, it just ellipted. So it's like this big wall river. There's like towering over the state capitol building, which is nothing like that in real life. And then you see the bridge, and it like jumps down like on 90 degrees downward. It's just 90 degrees, like 180 degrees downward. It's just crazy. It made no sense. This is not a big area. The area is only about 50,000 roughly, depending on what towns and stuff you count into. So, for example, the airport, like there's a town nearby called Holt Summit that's not part of Jefferson City, but you can say it's part of Jefferson City proper. So it's not in the city limits, but it does have, like, for example, an elementary school that's tied to the Jefferson City public school system, as an example. Again, this is what you see in more rural America. You get these little kind of like different communities that are not part of the city, but might be tied to like the city school district, for example. It's all part of that. There's not going to be a lot to talk about. I'm going to fly over kind of like the Capitol and just kind of talk a little, probably a little more about that. And then just kind of fly over some of this. I will not fly over where I live because my dad still lives there, so I want to make sure he gets a peace of mind. In case random people see this and wonder where he lives. Or maybe I'll fly near it and say I live in that region. But there's like dozens, hundreds of houses, so it's like good luck figuring it out. So look, we don't really need this because I don't think we're gonna do a full landing. Yeah, you see, it's actually kind of hilly in this area. So the Ozarks, or not the Ozarks yet, but basically this is kind of the area where the glaciers kind of start stopping and dumping everything, basically. So you go through like Illinois, it's pretty flat. When you get around here, this has got a lot more mountainous by any means, but a lot more hilly, a lot more cliffs. It's not a flat area by any means. I can already tell they fixed the river. Thank God. It was really bad. I'm not joking. It was really bad through here. It looked like the river should have engulfed the whole region. Like it looked something out of the apocalypse. As you can see, I'm already like way south of the city. We're gonna slow this down already. We don't say 60-ish% people below. So over here, yeah, it's kind of, I don't know how to really describe the layout. Like, it's kind of a weird layout. There's two highways, so it kind of like, it looks kind of like it's spread out around the highways. You have more of your nicer houses kind of like off the river, but then, you know, you do have like this part, like around here is not necessarily the best part of town. It's older, a little more run down, but there's not, you know, I would say it's not like, there's no like large yet or anything. It's not like Detroit or St. Louis, but kind of like you see throughout the Midwest, just kind of like these segregated areas where there's just more these run down older neighborhoods, more racially divided, unfortunately. Over here is Lincoln University, and then over here is Jefferson City High School. That was my high school, actually. We'll fly a little closer than that in a minute. So we're gonna see, like, we're already like downtown. It's like closer to this. So they did fix the river. This looks great now, by the way. But yeah, so you know, you got like different offices. That's a hotel. This is the state capitol, and you know, we're basing off the AI right now. But it looks, you know, pretty good. Obviously, it's going to be a little choppy here. It's a nice state capitol. This is also like the Truman Building. That's a major office. The state Supreme Court's right here. The post office is there. I think that's the Supreme Court. It's one of these two. But yeah, this is kind of state capitol. Nothing major. This is the major bridge here. See, we're gonna go over that in a second, like that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's not much there. It's not huge, but I mean, this is definitely small town America. Yeah, you got some nice little houses over here. It's a retirement home, actually. I got a friend in this region. I will not point out exactly where, if I can figure it out. You know, and these are like, this is kind of cool. These are like the old, like World War II-ish houses. You know, or not even World War II, I ain't even older. It's definitely like houses, definitely from like the first half of the 20th century. So it's like a lot of brick, smaller ranch-style, one-story houses. You know, very cool in my opinion. And I love that style. Well built. You usually got like the old classic wooden hard floors. And, you know, I have a friend that's been working on his house. He's doing a really good job, you know, modernizing it a little bit. Obviously, it's been modernized with like central air and everything. Okay, so this is 54. Anyway, so these are the two highways that split, as I mentioned earlier. And you kind of see here, look at this. This is a square. That's no joke. That was done on purpose. That was the intersection they did. And why? Well, for one, this is an old hospital that's now closed. They built a new one finally. It's an old hospital. But when they built this, so there's like, it's a little hard to tell, but there's like cliffs here and stuff. There's not really a lot of space, so they brought in a European designer, and this is the design they came up with, this square monstrosity. Luckily, it's slow enough. I don't think there's a lot of accidents, but it's really confusing. You go through there, you can actually go through the square and stay on the same highway, so it's not like a spaghetti loop. And then, like, another example, and then it's like you got traffic coming on, you know, it's kind of like the classic Clover Leaf disaster. You have traffic coming on, you're trying to get over, so you're crisscrossing paths, and that's where usually a lot of problems. You see people have to stop in the middle of the intersection, which makes no sense. Like, it was just really, really, really dumb. Like, it's all they could do. Honestly, what they should have done, which they didn't think of, they should have, like, cleared some of the hills, use eminent domain, make it a more proper intersection, but they didn't. You know, not the hospital. You have to leave that alone, obviously. We've been flying around for like 5 minutes around. So anyway, let's head back. Yeah, so we're gonna do a lot of circles here. I used to have a pause button. It's not working anymore for some reason. I don't know why. Oh wait a minute. I didn't do this. Nope. All right. Sorry, I was just trying to see. I don't know why it stopped working. So, but yeah, see, we got on the southern edge over here. This is like grocery store and stuff. Diner. Yeah, I know everything about this area. I lived down there. Oh, a good decade plus. I think about 11, 12 years. Chicago for 8. But anyway, it's not mean to climb up, actually. It's gonna be a little picky on me for a second. Alright, there we go. We'll go over the intersection here. We're gonna do a lot of circle arounds. It's like, why not? It's like pausing, we kind of do circle arounds. really want to say hello. Alright. But yeah, I just want to show the intersection one more time, and then we're going to start circling around here and kind of go around town. This is actually like this is a major street, Missouri Boulevard, it's called. That basically takes you like a lot of shop stuff. But yeah, here you go. So see, you kind of come off here. You can turn here. You're doing traffic there. That's not used. You go through here. You can go through. It's a mess. It was a terrible design. I don't know what they were thinking. They must. This was like years ago, so I know they're not high, unfortunately. At least that would make more sense. They were stone out of their mind to build that, to come up with that terrible idea. Like I could come up with a better idea. I don't have a background in engineering, but I know that's not just putting a square in it on a highway intersection. Just a dumb idea. It's kind of weird. It's like this little industrial area right through here, and then all of a sudden you have like these nice houses. Like it's very. It kind of reminds you like cities like in Texas, where it's like you have like a not a skyscraper. But let's say you have like a porno theater next to a church. It's like the zoning's a little weird here. But again, this is a small area, so it's not like it's probably just kind of built as they go to an extent. And again, a little more over here. Then it's like a little like business park, a little offices, but then you have like a factory, major factory, Unilever factory over there. You have like a grocery store here. Like it's just kind of like all over the place. Over here, this is the Run Center. This is like a big nature area, very beautiful. I can tell this is part of the open field part of the nature. You get the forest part. It's one of my favorite things. Probably one of my favorite hiking trail areas I've ever been to. Really well done. Missouri Conservation is really well done. Decently funded to my knowledge. And then we kind of go over here. We're going to get back into more residential, and that's the commercial parts. This is the big wall here. Not much going on nowadays, unfortunately. Just kind of story all around across walls across the country, especially in more of the smaller town America for sure. You got like a grocery store here. It's a Hy-Vee. My doctor's office is actually right there. I can tell. I'm going a little personal here, but these are public buildings, so it's not like you can't figure out, looking up what it is. It's like a church, Jimmy John's and so forth. And now you're back to residential. Now, what's interesting is over here, this becomes St. Martin's. This is actually the end of Jeff City. But then, like here, is still like the Jeff City addresses. It's really weird how the layout and the zoning works. Like it kind of cuts off, becomes another municipality, and then changes again. So, but anyway, so this is kind of the region I live, right over around this area. I am not going to point out exactly where, but I was in this area. So, so you got the whole major street, This actually looks more developed than this. It's really just like little warehouses or construction sites or whatever. It's nothing big. There's a new middle school where, like, this is a lot newer than I can tell you. But now I'm going to start going over my childhood areas nearby, besides the house, which we did for a little, but not pointed out for obvious reasons. I had a friend over it. I had a good friend in this area, and some other friends around here, but like you see, so I'm trying to see, this is good. This is actually updated San Anderson. This is a traffic circle now, or a little roundabout. Never used to be. It used to be a true stop sign intersection, but I give them credit. This roundabout made sense. Some of the others did not make sense, and I'll show you a good one in a bit. But yeah, so, a little more residential. It's kind of neat. It's kind of like a little, like, forest road, and you kind of get over here. But, like, over here, that is my middle school. That's where I went to middle school. Had a nice track. It's actually really pretty around here because all these little, like, trees and stuff. And here you got, like, a main, like, it's like a major trail around the road. And then there's also, like, they built some more over here, kind of like in the woods over here. There's, like, the parks area is actually in Jeff City is pretty impressive in its size. It's not a big city, but it's got some really nice little parks and trails in the region. And to point out, as I mentioned earlier, so this is one of the major highways, and the other one is over here. You kind of see they kind of built everything along the highways, but in the middle is a little more. Now, partially because of the layout. Like you go through here, it's a very more hilly here. Like when they built this highway, it actually opened up after I moved there in '99, so it was like in the early 2000s. They quite a lot of rock. Like it's very hilly through this. They quite a lot of rock. And same here when they built the hospital. They basically leveled out a plateau to build the hospital over here, and they built a new high school around here as well. But this images were not taken since it's been built, which only opened up about a year ago. But the thing I need to show you, because I need to... there it is. This is a Menards, just point out, but see here, look at this. We have a roundabout next to a roundabout. This roundabout goes nowhere. They have done nothing here. They put a roundabout for this. They put another roundabout that takes you to the Menards. We have a roundabout next to a roundabout. And trust me, it is very confusing to go through there. And another example. Yeah, the sad thing is, we have MoDOT located here. You think they'll have the best engineers, or at least put better road designs in their own capital, but they didn't. And you just see weird stuff like that. It just makes your head shut down. Like, you just don't get it. It didn't even need two roundabouts. Like here, you can easily just put a, like this is a little business park. It doesn't need a lot of traffic anyway. You can just put maybe a yield, or a stop sign, and probably get the same results. But no, they went with that. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Anyway, there's my. Obviously, I have my rants here on the roads because it is. I mean, granted, I go a little more like, except for that, again, but like this, it's an old highway, tight area, but like the roundabouts are built in the last like decade. It makes no sense. Like we've had modern technology to prevent those issues. I really don't get it. I really don't get it. I'm trying to give you a good reason why they did, and there is none. Anyway, let's get back. So this is the high school over here. It was pretty crowded when I went there. Anyway, it was built like in phases, but I was built in the 60s, and this is like the 70s, 80s expansion. They made football stadium track. Obviously, it doesn't look too great from here. Again, it's a high school, so there's only so much you can show. And yeah, as you see, there's a lot of residential around here. There's a golf course. This is it right here. It really does not look good. It doesn't. You can barely tell it's a golf course, but yeah, there's a golf course here. It's a public course. And yeah, it's kind of like this. It just gets more sprawled out, I can't remember where the city limits am. I know it's like around here. And then you also have you have another school district in this area as well. So, but yeah, it's kind of the tour of Jeff City. Just kind of like where I grew up. Spent a lot of time here. It is very pretty around the area. Like, you can see all these trees and stuff. And it's very accurate. Unless you're around here, you have some really pretty drives just trying to get around Jeff City. But that being made, it's a smaller city, so it's not, it's not massive by any means, and B, it's, it depends what you want in life. For people that just like the outdoors and like a smaller town quiet life, it works well, and for others that want to, more like, let's say, a big city experience from like cultural, like concerts, art museums, and not having to travel a good 2+ hours for that. That's not for me. So anyway, most of my rants are mostly about the road designs because they're just really illogical. Well, anyway, we're gonna fly back and we'll land at the airport. Oh, oops. There we go. No, I'm not going this way.
Jefferson City Tower, Diamond Alpha Sierra, X-Ray Golf Sierra, 4 miles southwest to left.
Again, a little more commercial here. Grocery stores, fast food, things over here as well. And here, kind of got more of like residential, a little more older actually. It's kind of like touch from road designs and so forth.
Fly left traffic runway 12 Diamond X-Ray Golf Sierra.
I don't know if I'm actually going to land the right runway, but yeah, I see I've been doing circles. I mean, it's not that massive. Only about 50,000 people roughly. I did.
Clear to land runway 12 Diamond X-Ray Golf Sierra.
Let's see. Does it even show it? No, I can't. Okay. I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to go out in a circle. This is, by the way, I forgot to say, this is the Missouri River right through here. I'm really glad they fixed the issues originally. It's really funny seeing it. So, but yeah, this is Missouri River. And then, sad thing, there used to be a little more development in this area over here. But the flood of 93 really destroyed it. So, sadly, there was a bad flood, I think, last year, 2 years ago, that didn't fully match the 93 flood, but it got close. Like, it flooded the highway over here. Like, it actually closed off parts of the highway over here, which makes it very challenging. This is not, you know, there's other access points, but not around here in Jeff City, so it makes it very challenging. Oh, but yeah, you see here, it's kind of cliff here. There's like a train line right through there. Kind of pretty, but... And then this is the highway that goes up to Columbia, Missouri. These aren't actually skyscrapers. I don't know what these buildings are. I know they're here, but there's something else. They don't look like office buildings. I'll see how this goes. I am using live weather, by the way, so it is nice and sunny. West today. It's still chilly, but it's nice and sunny. Like we're not coming in there. Oh, well, we'll figure it out. Oh shit. Ooh. Alright. And here you are, we're going to City Airport again. We'll just taxi and then call it a done deal. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Kind of going over, you know, a good portion of my life and some of my best friends. Do I miss the area? I guess, you know, people may ask that. Honestly, you know, like I'm a more big city person, so probably not fully. I miss seeing people that I care about more often. That I probably miss the most is some of the people. You know, I made some really good friends down there, and so, you know, just because of, you know, well, you know, work, life. I do acknowledge you're gone. Hand on me. Leave me alone.
121.7 for Diamond X-Ray Golf Sierra.
I'd say it's just more the people I miss. You know, family, and you know, my best friends in the region. Well, in terms of like the, you know, the city itself, you know, besides the hiking and some of the outdoor stuff, I did like, especially, you know, because I do like hiking and walks in some of the parks in the area. There's not much else there. You know, there's no, you know, I love art museums. Like I said, I love art museums. It's not there. You know, I like going to sporting events and concerts. That's not there. I mean, at least have Mizzou nearby, so in terms of like a bigger sporting event is somewhat regional. But you know, you get 12 football games a year. This year's 8. I'm sorry, 12 for the season. You know, how many home games are there in your schedule? Same with basketball, which who knows what's going to happen this year. But you know, and then in terms of like, you know, food and stuff like that, you know, it's not going to be available there. So, but there's a lot of good people there, and it's a nice little small area. You just want to. Yeah, simple's not the right word, but let's say quieter. Quieter's a better. You know, there's, you know, you get to anywhere you want within like 10, 20 minutes tops. You know, from corner to corner of the city. Right here, it takes me 20 minutes to go 5 miles. You know, that's the major difference in city living. But anyway, that being made, I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, learn a little bit of the region, if you're ever in this area of the world, and take care.